feel like I'm fine dining.
Oh, look at it fizzing. Oh, it's very excited about that.
I don't tell nobody else.
Okay, I won't tell nobody.
Don't tell nobody.
Okay.
But just a little bit more.
Got it. Is it a go backer? He laughs. What are you making for dinner tonight? I want to know. If you are here to get some inspiration, I've got you covered. I've got 3 different recipes for you to try this week. I call these videos winner dinners because they are all winners. I am not going to share a recipe that we don't like. Hey y'all, I'm Mandy, and this is Mandy in the Making. It is cold. Northerners are gonna laugh at me, but it is 54 degrees, and that's like the high today. When I woke up this morning, it was 27, and that's pretty unheard of this time of year in South Carolina. I mean, South. South is in the name. I want warm weather. Because it's a little chilly, we're gonna have some yummy soup tonight. It is called a creamy bacon mushroom soup. Now this particular recipe I'm cutting in half just so we don't have too much left over because it is just the 2 of us. And I think the original recipe has 8 servings, so we're gonna cut it in half. So I've got 4 or 5 pieces of bacon that I've already diced. We're gonna take it over to the stovetop. Let's go. So I've got this large soup pot heating to about medium high. I probably don't need this super large pot because I am cutting it in half, but we're just gonna go with it. If you hear a noise in the background, that's her rattling her food bowl. Moving on. So we're just gonna take our bacon and put it in here and let it crisp up. Okay, we're gonna chop this onion. The recipe calls for 1 medium onion. This is a pretty small onion, so I'm just gonna chop the whole thing up. It did say it needed to be chopped, not diced, so I'm not too worried about it being super finely diced. I've been getting a lot of questions about these knives. A sweet subscriber sent it to me. It's a whole set. They come with a sheath, and they're all a different pattern. So if you're interested, always check my Amazon store for just about anything that you see in my videos, unless it's Pampered Chef. It's going to be linked in my Amazon store. So these are linked in my Amazon store in the description box. Ooh, it's popping over here. It'd be popping. Woo. We're going to let it go a little bit longer before we remove it out. And what we're going to do is just leave the bacon drippings behind, and we're going to saute our mushrooms and onions in that. Talk about flavor. Our bacon is nice and crispy. It is still popping over here, but I'm going to remove it here to this paper towel. Okay, in our bacon grease, I just threw in our diced onion. And then I'm also gonna throw in about 8 ounces of sliced baby bella, which, by the way, I did not realize is the same thing as cremini mushrooms. You guys educated me on that. And then, once I looked more closely at the label on this anyway, it tells you that. I did not know that. Learn something new every day, right? Okay, so we're gonna saute these for a good 5 minutes. Okay, it's been going for about 5 minutes. So now I'm gonna add in some garlic and let that cook in there. Doing this one-handed is not ideal. We'll let that cook in there for 1 minute or so. I think the original recipe called for 3 cloves, and that's about what I went with, even though I halved it, but we love us some garlic. Now we're gonna stir in about 3/4 a cup or so of chicken broth, as well as this entire container, which is just 1 pint or a couple of cups of heavy cream. You would need a whole quart if you're doing the whole recipe. Let me know in the comments below, how many people are you cooking for in your household on a daily basis? When you're cooking, how many people is it for? I would love to know that. Okay, we're gonna let this come up to a simmer. It's on medium high, so it'll take just a little bit to do that. And then we'll be adding in some cheese. It calls for Swiss cheese. They don't sell Swiss cheese already shredded, so, and I was being lazy. So we're going with the 5 cheese of Italian blend today. It'll just be okay. Grace, do you think it's okay? You do? Okay. I'm so glad you approve. Ooh. I lost a finger. Okay, I stepped away to chop my parsley and this came up to a simmer real quick. So now we're gonna add in our cheese. I've got about 3/4 a cup of this cheese and we want it to go in and melt. So I'm gonna add half of it now, stir it around. I did turn my heat down a little bit. Let's add in the other half. And then to thicken this up, we've got some cornstarch that's gonna go in. So let's do a cornstarch slurry. Let me turn this down a little bit more. While it's hanging out there, I've got about 1.5 tablespoons or so of cornstarch. I'm gonna add the same amount of water. And then to our cornstarch slurry, we're gonna add a little bit of salt and some pepper. If you know us, you know we love pepper, so I'm going kind of heavy on that. Let's pour this over here into our soup. So we're gonna let this hang out for just a couple, it's already thickening up. We're gonna let it hang out for a couple of minutes, and then it's gonna be time to eat, y'all. I need to put my French bread, AKA garlic toast, in the oven. The end piece. And don't worry, we have not forgotten about the goodness over here. Quality control. Oh yeah, that's really good. That's gonna go on top along with some parsley. I'm gonna need to switch out spoons though. It's kind of hard to serve soup with this. What you think?
I think it looks delicious.
It
smells incredible.
So good in this house.
Yes. A creamy bacon soup with mushrooms in it.
An onion, a little bit of cheese.
Wow. That is incredible. You know what it reminds me of a little bit?
What?
Like some kind of a dip that you would get.
Yeah.
So, like, put on a little bread here like that right there. Wow. That is amazing flavors. Got the garlic bread, the garlic flavor now in there. Mushrooms, definitely the bacon flavors coming through, but that creamy mushroom is unbelievable.
Okay.
I feel like I'm fine dining.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's like normal ingredients.
Yeah, I mean.
This is great. So my mouth is watering. You have done a great job of making me want to try this. So I will be right back, y'all.
Really good.
Y'all, this is so good. I can totally imagine getting a little cup of this or something at a nice restaurant before your meal. Is it a go-backer? He laughs.
Some kind of garlicky, crunchy bread.
Yeah. There's more in there, by the way.
I know.
There's more bread.
Oh, I know.
You've already staked that out.
But that is going to be really good with this, so you can kind of, you know, do this.
Oh, do that again. Yeah. You look kind of like a flight attendant.
It's part of the eating process.
All right.
Please put your trays in the upright position.
All right, y'all. Make this one. Tonight's recipe that I'm going to be sharing with you is a side dish. We're having it along with Salisbury steaks, which is one of our favorite meals here in this house. I've shared it probably a couple of times on my channel. I will link the recipe below. But you can't have Salisbury steak without mashed potatoes, so we're going to do that as well. But the new side that we are trying tonight is one that my friend Shelly sent me a reel of on Instagram. It's a feta and Brussels sprouts side dish. It's going to be baked in the oven together, and it looks amazing. To get started, we're going to preheat our oven to 400. Let's wash our Brussels sprouts. I have about 1 pound of them here. Now I'm just going to pop this tablespoon of butter into the microwave and melt it. And to our melted butter, we're going to add about 1 tablespoon of olive oil. We're going to put half of that onto this baking sheet that I have lined with parchment paper. And I'm just going to use this basting brush to kind of spread it out. Now you're going to take an entire container. This is about 6 ounces of feta cheese. And we're just going to sprinkle this all over our parchment paper. Now I'm just going to go in with my knife, cut off the ends of my Brussels, and then cut them in half. And then we're just going to take them over here to the baking sheet lined with parchment and feta. And we're going to press them into the feta. So flat side down. And you do want to press them so that the feta kind of sticks to it. It's going to take a few minutes, so I'll be right back. Grace. Grace. Hi. Okay, come here. I know. There's feta up here. Oh, we're very excited. Very, very excited. These are done. And it took the whole pound of them. I was a little skeptical. I didn't know if I'd have enough room, but I did. So there we go. Now we're gonna baste the tops of these with the rest of our olive oil and butter. Okay, they're all basted. Let's just add a little bit of salt and pepper to the top. And then after these bake, we're gonna hit them with something really special at the very end. And just a little bit of pepper as well. These are going in the oven at 400 for 25 minutes. So these just came out of the oven. They need to cool for about 10 minutes before we put our final touch on top. And that is this balsamic vinegar glaze. Not just plain balsamic vinegar, you want to get the glaze. We're gonna put that over top in just a little bit. Boop. Me. Well, we know you love some Salisbury steak and some mashed taters.
Oh yeah, we got that.
And we do love Brussels, but we've never had them like this.
Let's try it. Love the Brussels with the feta.
Okay.
Number one, that combination is incredible.
Good.
Got that saltiness of the feta cheese mixing with that Brussels sprout. And then you get the little pop of the balsamic.
Okay.
Not too much because you didn't really.
No.
You didn't get on it, you know.
No, you're not supposed to.
But that little hint of balsamic just kind of lifts everything up.
Okay.
So yeah, it's really good. These Brussels have some muscles, man. I'm telling you right now.
Cole really likes them too. He was very excited about it. He said the feta just makes it better. Y'all, this is good. This whole meal together is perfection. But I love the feta with that and that balsamic.
Yes.
He's right. It just lifts it up just a little bit. I could have put a little bit more on it. I was just scared to overdo it. But it's really good. So, we recommend for sure. This is a winter dinner, yes? Do you have something else to say? That's all you have to say?
Just a little bit more balsamic on there. Don't tell nobody else.
Okay, I won't tell nobody.
Don't tell nobody.
Okay.
But just a little bit more.
Got it. Okay, it's our third recipe, which means it is Subbie supper night. In full transparency, I made this much earlier this morning. It is a crock pot meal and it comes from Brandi. My house has smelled divine all day long and we're so excited to finally dig into this. But let me tell you a little bit about this recipe and then we'll go back in time and I'll show you how to make it. So Brandi said that this is a recipe that her family has loved for a very long time. Her daughter is now grown and her daughter's daughter loves it just as much as her daughter does. She said some people call this a cola pot roast, but they have started calling it spaghetti pot roast or spaghetti roast. And the reason why is it does have spaghetti sauce type elements to it. It also has some Coke in there, but they also serve it over spaghetti noodles, which is what we plan to do too. So thank you, Brandi, for sending this in. It smells amazing. Let me show you how to make it. Okay, so I've got this large skillet heating to about medium high. I'm gonna add just a little bit of olive oil and let that heat up. Once this comes up to temperature, we are going to sear our chuck roast. This is about a 2.5 pound chuck roast. I think she said a 3 pound, but this is just what I had, so we're going with it. I cut it into about 1-inch chunks. In the meantime, I've got this large sweet onion here. I'm going to slice it. She said to slice it thick. So our skillet is heated up. Oh yeah, we got a little sear going on there, or a little sizzle going on there. So let's add our beef in. You don't want to overcrowd it, so I'll probably do this in a couple of batches. But I'm just gonna brown it. And she did mention that you could use like an Instant Pot and just turn it to the saute function and then turn it over to the slow cook function after all of this. I'm using my handy dandy crock pot today, but you could do either or. One other thing I forgot, you need to put in some minced garlic at this point too. So I'm just gonna kind of toss that there in the middle. I'll spread it around here in just a second. First batch is seared and I popped it in here. Now I'm working on my second batch and then I have a very small third batch. All of our meat is seared in here. So let's add our carrots on top. These are not carrots, these are onions. We're adding onions on top first. I know my veggies. And now we add our carrots on top. So a small bag of baby potatoes. I'm tired. It's in the morning, it's a Saturday morning. Just forgive me. It's not potatoes, it's carrots. Baby carrots, a small bag. This was a large bag, but I had about half of it left, so we're good. All right, let's move this to the side and let's mix up what we're gonna be pouring on top. We need 1 cup of Coke. I've heard of roasts using Coke and Dr. Pepper, so that's not too odd to me. So let's do 1 cup. Next, it says we need a 14.5 ounce can of crushed tomatoes. I only had this 28 ounce can from Thrive Market. I'm just gonna use this. I won't use the entire thing, but about half. You need 1 pack of the McCormick thick and zesty spaghetti sauce or mix. And we're gonna add in a little bit of salt and garlic powder. Oh, look at it fizzing. Oh, it's very excited about that. This is fun. It's like a little science experiment. I don't know how much of those I was supposed to do. I was just too enthralled with this, but let's mix all of that around. We're gonna call that good. We're gonna pour this all over our roast. It smells interesting, like a good interesting, don't worry. All right, this is gonna go on low for about 8 hours. So I will see you back here tonight. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put this on high for about hour to get it kind of jump started, and then I'll switch it over to low just because it's already 10 o'clock in the morning and we normally eat early. So I want to make sure this is done. So I'm going to set a timer on my stovetop so I don't forget to come in here and switch this to low. So now that it's been cooking all day, it's pretty much ready. I've got water over on the stovetop coming up to a boil. I'm going to cook our angel hair pasta and then we will serve this. It smells so good, y'all. I wish I could just like, here, just share the smell with you. All right, so let's see what Mr. Steven thinks.
Okay.
I think it's been smelling amazing in this house all day.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Wow. That's good. Very meaty, very hearty. Mm-hmm. Sauce is really good. It's got a kind of a deep, like a real deep, rich, beefy flavor to it. You know, it's not like a spaghetti sauce.
Right.
You know?
It has Coca-Cola in it.
Okay. Well, I can definitely see that. It has just a little touch of a sweetness to it.
Okay.
You know, but it's definitely a rich, deep,
okay,
bold sauce. You know, it's not, you don't get Italian.
Right.
At all from this.
And that's what she was saying, is that a lot of people don't serve this over spaghetti, but I just think it's so unique. I just had to try it, so.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely goes good. The noodles definitely hold the sauce pretty well.
Good.
You know?
Yeah. Well, Steven didn't like it at all.
No.
Y'all, this is delicious.
Yeah.
You could definitely just serve this over mashed potatoes, like Steven was saying, any starch. If you wanted to do some rice or something, that would be perfectly fine. But I love the idea of the spaghetti. It goes well with it. Mm-hmm. It's very saucy, so it goes perfectly well with that.
Yep.
The meat is super tender, falls right apart.
Yes.
The carrots are cooked perfectly. They're not overly done, but they're so soft. It's really great. I love the difference in this, in that you're serving it over spaghetti.
Thumbs up.
I would give you 2, but I'm holding the camera with the other hand.
Thumb up.
Cole,
Yes.
what you think?
Thumbs up.
He said thumbs up. He's in another room. Thank you so much, Brandi. We really appreciate you sending this in. We were really impressed with all 3 recipes. Let me know which one you're going to try first. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.